He's like the oldest
Hey,
man alive.
hey, everybody. That closing segment would have been good if there was a time machine.
That was the greatest main event from 2002 I've ever seen. Hey. Hey, baby girl, you got an inhaler? Because you got that ass, ma.
Don't do
Mm.
that. Don't.
I saw a Vine of that, but some dude. R.I.P. Vine. What's up, John?
What's up, man? How are you? Welcome back, Geno.
Much better this week, yeah. I'm sorry, everyone, for missing last week. I'm not that sorry. I don't actually like being here. But I had to miss last week because I
Real
was
talk.
deathly ill. Deathly ill. Just on the verge of actual death. No, really, I couldn't hear anything. I was so, I don't know what it was, congestion or just I was told there's a virus going around and sickness and everyone's fucking ill. Decker's ill. You were ill. I was ill. Just,
Mm-hmm.
and I one ear was so clogged I literally couldn't hear. Just that pressure, couldn't pop them. It was the fucking
And
worst.
not the fun kind of ill, not like licensed to ill, like
Yeah, not illmatic.
sick. Right.
Also, my headset is busted, so if I don't sound as good, I apologize for that. But I hope everyone can hear me. If you're having troubles, let us know. Not that you'll
And
comment.
we won't do shit about it. So, but please let us know.
Let us know if there's an issue, and
I'm
we'll
just
just
being
ignore it.
honest. I don't know what we could do about it. We'll wish really hard that it was better for you. How about that? Does that count?
I'll just, if you can hear me okay, I'll just save myself the money and not order a new good headset. But if you can't, then
There
I'll
you
just,
go.
that's only like $20, the Logitech or whatever.
I gotta get some new ones. Just these work fine, but they're all messed up.
They're all clunky.
Well, they're all like falling apart. Look at this. Look at this. See this? This is horrible. Like a fucking Muppet.
You
I got a Muppet on my ear.
you tussled up your hair when you took it down. It was looking so
Oh, did I?
smooth.
I just got it cut yesterday.
Oh
It was
yeah,
getting out of hand. It was getting
you
out of
you
hand.
you look sexy, Sean.
Why? Thank you.
All right,
Why?
so we're
Thank
here
you.
to awkward sexual advances
Mm-hmm.
aside. We're here to
Mm-hmm.
talk about Monday Night Raw.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's a good program.
You gave it a B
Uh,
plus.
I enjoyed watching it. I did, in point of fact, because
Wow.
I'm not one of these people who thinks that you have to be under the age of 40 to be entertaining.
Mm.
Now, the main complaint from this show that I saw was, or I don't even know if it was a complaint so much, and we were bombed with tweets about it. Was at the end there they did the big stare down. They had
Mm.
Lesnar come into the ring with Goldberg, and which itself was I thought for me it was like, well, this is a bit repetitive because again that's WWE style. They just do the same shit kind of over and over again. Which it's wrestling, you kind of have to, but. And plus, too, it's like this. I don't know how much sense this even makes in one regard because Goldberg has no reason at all in the world to fear anything about Brock Lesnar at this point. He literally murdered him in seconds at the last time they saw each other. So it's just a little. But he
Well, that's
didn't
why you wanted
act.
him to come down to the ring like a man, boy.
Yeah,
But not
like
man
a man
boy,
boy.
like man, comma boy, right?
uh,
Bill was having some issues last night, so
boy, he concussed himself.
he may not remember the closing segment of Raw. So
This man has a history of injuring himself accidentally in major angles. Yeah. And he was strange. It was weird, and that's fine. And then Brock circles the ring and gets in, and they do the slow roll, and that's fine. But you did not expect Undertaker to just show up out of nowhere, and
no,
the big
Brock was advertised. I mean, no, well they weren't promoting it, but if you went to like the ticket page and everything, it said Brock Lesnar would be
yeah
there. But
yeah,
there was no word about Taker. We didn't know Taker was in Cleveland.
and there wasn't even a Taker's backstage from the
Nope.
usual spots, so it was just the big gong, and then there he is, and then Brock Lesnar is so fucking good at being afraid of Undertaker. Even though he beats him every time they
Mm-hmm.
wrestle,
Mm-hmm.
he's still it's like he's in awe. Like there's just something about Undertaker's very presence. Like in a fight, I'll whoop the fuck out of him, but like when he shows up, it's like you're still a little scary. It's like that's why I have to beat the shit out of you. You're
Mm-hmm.
scaring me, motherfucker. But like it's just there's just he got that across really well, and Undertaker, he is a cool presence, I guess, and it helped to have Brock there because Goldberg just makes those stupid ass weird faces
Right, grandpa face.
He makes the bitter beer face. You remember those old commercials with Budweiser?
Yeah, he does. Yeah, like the kid.
He makes that face like if he didn't have teeth, if he wore dentures, took them out, and then mashed his lips together. Like he just looks weird as fuck at all times. He's not intimidating at all, really. He just looks goofy. So it was great to have Brock there, and then it was just it was a cool thing, and everyone in the crowd was super into it, and they were all staring at each other. And another reason it was great was because it was such a total change from what we're used to. I mean, normally it's the Rumble go home, so we were all just waiting for, and then Goldberg's like, all 29 of you can come on out, and I'm going to beat shit out of you. That's like, here we go. They're all going to pile out, and Khali's going to walk a half a mile a minute. Like, it's it's going to be this same thing, and it's bedlam and chaos and mayhem and all this, and that's fun in its own right, but they didn't do that at all. They didn't get physical at all. They just teased out the violence, which I think was pretty effective. So I thought it was a really good segment. It was a cool moment. It's the first time Goldberg and Undertaker have even been in the ring together, right? I think he said.
Yep.
So, I mean, it kind of covered all the bases. And then even as soon as it was done, it was like people are tweeting at us and going, the combined age of everyone in the ring? No, and I don't care. Like, why are you telling me this? Like, what does it matter? Like, I'm assuming it's almost 150. Because, these people are up there in age. Like, Undertaker's very old. I think Goldberg just turned 50. Taker's almost
Taker's
50.
Going to be 50. He's going to be 52 before Mania. So.
Oh, my God. He's over 50 now. All right. And Lesnar's almost 40. So I get it. Like, that's kind of irrelevant. Like, it doesn't matter at all in any way, shape, or form at all. So it's totally – like, is that really affecting your enjoyment of the product?
I mean,
that's another thing about weird-ass wrestling fans. Like, I don't like this because these guys are too – well, that's weird as shit. That's just weird as fuck. Isn't it?
I mean, is there – and I'm not even, like, the biggest fan of these movies, but did anybody, like, walk out in the middle of Taken because they were pissed because Liam Neeson was old? Was that like, fuck this?
They memed him and fucking made him a legend for it. Like,
I mean, it's their actors. I mean, we talked about this last night. I mean, if it comes to, and I'm a little bit concerned that Taker might like never walk again if he tries to do the wrong spot, but that didn't happen yet. So I'm gonna enjoy. I'm gonna be like, holy shit, that was a cool moment, and then I'll worry about that stuff later. And I guess the other thing is like, well, they're taking people's spots or whatever. First of all, how many years? We know this. This is not news. Part-timers come back from Mania. And second of all, they're not taking anybody's spot. If you want to see AJ
Whose
Styles,
spot is he taking?
There's a show tonight where you're going to get to see that. So if that was happening both nights, you'd be complaining about, it's the same thing. I don't. I mean, Sami Zayn got fucking a major angle. Seth Rollins' angle is cool. Kevin Owens, I mean, Kane and I talked about this last week. Maybe it's not your dream booking of his Universal title reign, but that motherfucker's been holding the biggest championship in wrestling for 6 months now. That's not getting buried. So what the final angle, the final scene before the Rumble from Raw was 150 years old. It was still fucking cool.
Oh, he's definitely getting strawberried. And Sami Zayn's
there's a poisoning. Yeah.
Sami Zayn's getting blueberried, but it's they're not taking spots, and that's another one of those weird things. As a fan, why does it matter? Why do you derive enjoyment from that thing? Like as far like I understand if you're being critical, I understand if you're analyzing the show from a business perspective or from really any perspective that you'd want to take to analyze it. But like purely as a fan, just in trying to enjoy the product, I don't think that holds any water. If something's entertaining, then it is entertaining. I don't think. I mean, certainly there are variables at play here, but like that kind of thing shouldn't factor in. The fact that these guys are older shouldn't play a part in anything. Like, and then two, it's like, well, he's too old, and I'm worried about him and stuff. I think that's valid on a very human level, i.e., like this is just a show, and I don't want it to become not a show because suddenly, he's already had hip surgery this year. That's not even a joke about how old he is. Like, it's an actual thing. Like, and he's going to probably need total hip replacement. Dude's beat his body up quite a bit throughout his career. You don't want, like, the fiction to become too much of reality, and we've seen that, how concussed he was when he lost to Lesnar at WrestleMania, and how every year he finally goes to the back. He's like, I can't do this anymore. I'm done. And then he keeps coming back. Yep. That's fair, that's fine. But it's just a weird thing to be like, you know, they're too old. And what's even really the complaint there? Because it's more than just that they're old. What's the actual complaint behind that? That you don't want to see them because they're old because, like you say, there's concern for their health, or because they're just not as good as they were before because they're older, or because, you know what I mean? Like, what's the actual
I don't know. I guess it's different things for different people. It's like, but yeah, I don't know.
It's a good point you make about the Taken movie. Like, no one ever at any point was like, okay, is no one going to talk about how fucking old this guy is? That he's like a badass beating up these 20-year-olds? And that's not even what they're doing either. That's the thing, too, is they're in there with people who are the same age. It's a retirement home match, but at least it's fair.
Right. And, you know, we still don't know what anybody's doing for Mania. Maybe that's our Mania triple threat that we're staring at, and they won't even fuck with anybody else. They're just going to have their own little control. It's like Brock's been. Like, he's not taking anybody's spot because he lives in the little Brock Lesnar universe.
And if that's the case, cool. The crowd seemed to love it. It was a pretty. I thought it was a pretty cool thing. And here the other thing is too is like, again, we get a little too far in there. You can, you know, paralysis by overanalysis kind of thing. You go a little too far into it. Well, this isn't believable. Take a step back. Look at the program guide. Understand what you're watching. Like, come on. Like, this isn't believable. The lights just went off, and we're to believe that happened because this man has supernatural power. And they came back up because he raised his arms and rolled his eyes in the back of his head like he's a supernatural being. And
that's why Brock's scared.
That Brock is scared because of the...
He's never seen anybody who can control lights like that before.
This is a fucking supernatural ghost. Brock's the best wrestler of all time because he's the only one who reacts appropriately to this shit. Goldberg's just like doing duck face, staring around, bitter beer face style. And Lesnar's like, does no one else see this dead man just fucking appear as if from nowhere? What the fuck? So, yeah, it's all kind of silly, but yeah, I just don't understand the age complaints.
I don't get, the other thing, if you want to complain about like any of these guys not being that entertaining as pro wrestlers now, you can do that, and I don't know if their age has anything to do with it. Brock has the same match every time. Goldberg's had the same match for 30 years, and you know it's been a while since Taker was the work rate machine. So,
and sometimes
but that's not because they're old necessarily. Even
sometimes, Flair, you know, Hogan reinvented his entire career as a heel when he was like 48.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was almost a 50-year-old man when he became Hollywood Hogan, right? I think. Ric Flair was late 90s. WCW was full of guys who were really old, but were really good. Age has very little to do with anything. Like, age has something to do with it if it's impacting your enjoyment of going, okay, well, they can't work a regular match, or they can only do so much because their bodies can't withstand it because just of the effects of age. That's what happens to human beings. That's fine, but that's not what you got here. And also, it's not what they're asking you to buy into. It's a Rumble. Like, a Rumble is kick punch. Yeah. No one's doing fucking running side slams and shit. Like, it's kick punch, and, you know, and you can count on Undertaker to be a massive dumbass, so that's exciting to look forward to.
True.
But they're not going to be asked to do very much, and I thought it was cool, like what you said in your post about the stare down. It was like the business is built on like larger than life personalities who are like star power, draw you in, and these guys, more than anyone else on the roster, and there's a debate to be had about why that's the case, but more than anyone else on the roster are those guys. They're the guys that they show up and you're looking, you're interested, you're intrigued just on their mere presence alone. So you can do a segment like this just because of that. You couldn't get away with doing that with Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho and Seth Rollins and even a Triple H. You just can't, but you can with these guys. And so they did, and it was fucking awesome. So to me, it's just like I think it's a little bit of, I'm hesitant to say people, you find something to complain about. I think in this instance, you're looking for a reason to be upset.
My thing is, like I said, I think you can do both things. I don't understand the immediate reaction being to like look for fault in it. So I don't want to be the guy that bitches about people bitching, but to me, that was a cool moment. I had to go back and rewatch it because I was working on something else because I was actually waiting for the fucking brawl because I have been watching wrestling for most of my life, and that's what they've trained me to expect. But then when I went, it's just a cool, if you don't sort of get excited to like get a little smile on your face watching that, I think you probably, I'm not going to say you should stop watching wrestling, but you maybe should stop watching Raw. I mean, because that's what it's built for. That's what they're in the process right now of trying to turn guys like Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman into the guys that we'll smile about when they do this in 20 years. You can't just flip the switch though and make us care about that. They couldn't do this segment with Roman, and they've also given us this segment with Roman Braun, and we see that sort of repeatedly. That's why this one time that all these three guys were actually booked on the show for this was kind of cool.
Yeah, and I mean, if you are, like you said, if you're going to complain about that, you've maybe lost sight a little bit about what they're doing here and what the point of what they do here is. Like, it's, they're promotions for you. If you're the sportsman for wrestling and you want the matches and the whatever, like, there are places that you need to be. This, not really the place. It's not really what they give you. Yeah.
Yeah. And there are actually now WWE products that will give you other things. Like I said, I mean, that's the thing. The whole, like, they're taking spots and this should be younger guys. These guys won't be around after Mania thing. If you want to see, I mean, that kind of stuff happened on this show. It's going to happen on a show tonight. There's lots of places to watch people who aren't part-timers that are 50.
Yeah.
So why the fact that these guys got us this 5-minute window at 11 o'clock on a Monday night just fucking ruins everything for you is a little weird.
It's also a strange inability to adjust expectations. You don't go to McDonald's and expect a gourmet meal. You're eating high-octane garbage because it's cheap and fast and easy. So if you go there and you expect to be satisfied on the same level that you would expect to be at a 5-star restaurant, of course you're going to be disappointed. If you're going into this thinking that they need to deliver in the same way that your favorites deliver, or that guys that you have more respect for deliver, or, even as far as match quality, like, Rollins and Sami Zayn, what a fantastic match that was. Great chemistry, a lot of good false finishes, didn't know what was going to happen. There were actual stakes in play. Like, it was just a really fun match. Your expectation is like you're going to get the same kind of thing from a Undertaker, Lesnar, Goldberg stare down. I think that's on you. Like, I don't think that's their fault. So there's some issues with adjusting expectation and just also just accepting what it is that they have to offer you. I don't know. It's a weird thing to me to be upset about.
I mean, like I said, I don't want to be the guy who bitches about people bitching, but I just think everything we've just said. I mean, there's other stuff for you. Like, wait a second before, and that's like if today, like, and because I'm thinking some of these things, we've had this conversation before. I like to think about some of the, like, what ifs about bookings, and I like to think about the business side.
Absolutely.
But I don't want to think about that at 11 o'clock on Monday night when 3 Hall of Famers are staring at each other in the ring.
I think it's interesting. I think the issue is that it becomes a thing where, so it's interesting to think about why decisions are made the way they're made and what it is that led to this being this and what the thought process was behind it. That's fascinating stuff. I don't think you should take that and let that affect your enjoyment of something that's happening on the screen. I.e., I think there was a better way to do this, therefore this was bad. No. Just because it's not, again, we've always go back to that too. There's a difference between this is bad and I don't like this. And I think there was a lot of I don't like this, and therefore it became, well, it's a problem because they're part-timers and they're holding down other people and they're, no, I don't think that's the case at all. I mean, there's a place for this in wrestling. There's a place for so much in wrestling, especially on a 3-hour show, especially with going to the Royal Rumble, which is going to be a fucking 6-hour show. And it's, it's strange to me that that's from the top down. It's not just that Undertaker and Lesnar and them did what they did. It's that Sasha Banks is in a kickoff match. Suddenly now that's a big problem.
I know. That was the other thing I was going to bring up. That caught me completely off guard. The outrage about that, which it shouldn't, but I was just thinking that they had kind of set up a neat angle, and I'm personally shocked there's going to be 2 women's matches on the card. Other thing is, like, and a lot of people are like, fuck this, there's no SmackDown women's matches. There's still another show tonight. We don't know that.
Exactly.
They're not going to announce SmackDown women's matches on Raw. Jesus.
Yeah, by the way, just so we don't anger a few of those guys named Mark on the internet, we want to make sure to announce
give you the whole card right now.
Yeah, that's too. Like you said, like, well, she deserves way better. What the fuck are you talking about? She just got out of a 9-month main event program. Yep. She has to go back down the card. There's literally nowhere else to go. And not only did she go back down the card, she didn't even miss the fucking pay-per-view. They made sure to give her a match, and it's free, so everyone can see it. There's literally no issue here at all. No,
yeah,
you want to be pissed because Emelina hasn't debuted? They've been promising her since fucking Vietnam, and so Trump became president at the time it took her to debut. Shit's gotten crazy.
I saw somewhere that it's been 17 weeks of Emelina vignettes. Now.
Has it actually been 17?
I have not gone back and counted, but that's what I saw. So it's more than 4 months.
We should have done a FinWatch gimmick. Like, did Emelina debut tonight? No.
But you'd have to use different pictures though, because there's a lot of good pictures you could use.
Well, that got very crazy. There's a lot of good pictures. Oh my god!
I like pictures of Emelina.
It's worth the way
Emelina. Me and Emelina have that in common.
I mean, rise up, lights.
Yeah, that's weird. Like, yeah, it's a 6-hour.
She's
show,
on the card. Yeah,
I will be shocked if Mickey versus Becky. I mean, I'm actually, if you want to. I bet that gets on. Maybe it's a pre-show match. Maybe it's not. But
and no Alexa.
I mean, that's the upside of its 2-hour fucking pre-show.
And that's the other thing too. This is bullshit. And they have she's on the card, and that's entirely
she's got a better story than she had as a champion, in my opinion. I mean,
it's entirely possible.
Finally back to like the breaking of the boss thing, and she's acting like she's got a little chip on her shoulder now. I don't know. I'm digging it.
Yeah, it's pretty good stuff. Like, they're telling a pretty good story, and it's like, this makes sense. And it's, nope, not good enough. She's got to be in the main event. You fuckers realize there's only one main event spot. Not everyone can be in the main event. It's just like a strange. Again, adjust your fucking expectation. Like, I don't know. It's very elitist kind of shit. It's the fucking Patriot fans who are like. It's those kind of shits where Tom Brady has one bad game and they're like, I think he might be over the hill. After 18 consecutive years of being the most dominant quarterback the league's ever seen. It's the weirdest shit. So maybe it's just a sport.
Well, I can't even go to my football team's like any website because everybody wants to fire everyone because we only made it to the AFC Championship game and sort of look bad there.
Yeah. Meanwhile,
spoiled bastards.
Yeah, I'm a Bear fan. What kind of fucking Matt Barkley's at quarterback? I don't even know who the fuck this guy. He wasn't even in the league. He was bagging groceries. He's out there starting games, throwing 5 picks. They're going, I think Big Ben he ought to retire. Fuck you. Like, you're an ass because you actually have it good. Don't realize you have it good. But that's also a human thing too, right? Relativity sets in, and so you go. You talk about, I don't have any money, okay, so I'm kind of poor, and I live poor, and then I get a lot of money, but then it's like, wow, I have nicer things, but I still feels like I don't have a lot of money. That's because what you end up doing is you adjust how you are. It becomes relative. Like, the more money you have, the more money you spend. So I kind of get that. Like, you come to expect excellence, and you come to expect that this will be the case. That's fine. But at the same time, I think it would improve your own fucking enjoyment of things to just sit back and go, you know what? Sasha doesn't need to be in the main event. She just was for like 8 months. And you were tired of it at that time. By the end of it, you were certainly one of those people. And then the very next thing they do is they go, okay, we'll put her in a feud with Nia Jax. And they have 2 women's feuds going on simultaneously. That never happens. And they're all getting some TV time, and that's cool. But certainly not as much as they should get. I'm not saying that WWE is like hitting a home run as far as that goes. They deserve more time. They deserve more space, all that good stuff. But they're getting a lot more than they ever had before. And she's getting she didn't just drop off the face of the earth as what tends to happen.
Right.
Like, they put her in a program. They gave her a storyline. She actually has creative. They're not just, injured or not, how Vince feels about her or not, all those weird rumors. So, yeah, it's like the fact that she's even on the card. And it's entirely possible the SmackDown Women's Champion won't be is pretty fucking impressive. So you Sasha fucking fans need to calm down. You've still got it pretty fucking good, methinks. And she'll probably be in the main event at WrestleMania. Of the women's division stuff.
Maybe, yeah, we'll see. I mean, the fact that, but like you said, I mean, not everybody can be in the championship feud. So
sorry, yeah, it's like
still got a story. I mean,
we could cruiserweight this son of a bitch and just do 8-man tags all the time, and then you'd bitch about that. It's just like, at what point do you stop bitching and go, well, this is necessary? Like, I think that's what I said about the Bayley Charlotte stuff. For they just did the video stuff, and it's pretty clear Charlotte's probably going to win. Bayley needs to get knocked down. So I'm not altogether entirely crazily entertained by what they're doing right now, but I also understand it's groundwork.
Yep.
They're planting some seeds. they're setting me up, and I'm good with that. So I'll roll with it. Let's do this. Cool. Watch the interview. Go, that was all right. That was fine. Whatever.
I mean, Kane and I were talking about this last week. I think it's important for people to remember it's not like this. There's not an end to WWE programming that we can foresee in our lifetimes. It's going to keep going and keep going. So are they going to cool off people for a little while and then, yeah. So like, I mean, if you want to be upset that Bayley and Charlotte didn't have matches last night, that's fine. But they're being featured in a way, and it's like you said, it's groundwork. So take a deep breath and remember that, somebody's not going to win wrestling next week. It's not going to be also, the Super Bowl of wrestling isn't in a couple weeks and it's going to be over. It's going to keep going.
Yeah, and you also don't have to absolutely love everything or absolutely hate it. There's
Especially
room to be apathetic. Yes, yeah. There's room to just go meh. Which there was plenty of stuff on the show that I went meh to, and then there was plenty of stuff that I was like, that was really fucking cool. I really liked that, which I gave it a B+. I actually enjoyed it. Not that I was not influenced by the people who were, talking shit to me about how negative I am. And did you see I put that poll up? Should I keep reviewing Raw or give it to someone else?
Oh, I saw you mention it this weekend. I didn't actually see it. What the results ended up at.
60-40, saying that I should stick to it. I was like, God.
There you go.
Your people's love. That was a conspiracy to get me off duty. I hate doing the Raw recap, man.
Well, you might have a fill-in
next week
coming up.
Tanya's doing it next week.
There you go.
Tanya Rogers, Militia. She hit us up and was like, "I can do the Raw recap at some point if you want." And I'm like, "When? When can I tag you in? Get me off this fucking duty." So yeah, she'll be doing it next week. Which that's the Rumble Fallout.
That's the Fallout.
So that's a big one. We're gonna hand off for a big one. And see how that goes. People made good points. Like whether it's he's too positive or too negative should not be. That's not how to critique a writer.
No, you're supposed to be reviewing it. You're supposed to be. I mean, that's why I like the fact. Even before I was on staff, I liked the fact that you called those posts, the after show kind of review. You called them a reactions post because that's what it is. It's somebody reacting from their perspective.
Yeah.
And with whatever criteria they decide to look at it. So I mean, if you're looking for some sort of empirical. God comes down on high and says, this was a good Raw. This was a bad Raw. Keep
6 stars.
You're never going to, exactly. You're never going to find it somewhere. The Observer doesn't review weekly shows, I don't think. Do they? He doesn't actually give like a grade.
No, they don't have a recap. They have like a live blog kind of thing.
Yeah, they have like a results thing kind of, yeah.
Yeah, so, which, yeah, they took that from us, I think. They didn't used to do that until we did. And they even took the video highlights gimmick and started doing that just like we do. Basically just like we do. It's little tweaks and stuff. Well, I'm not saying they stole from me. We don't own that.
No.
Do that. You should be if you own a website, you should be doing that. And if you're not, you're like not running your shit properly.
I mean, and we've adapted. I mean, we've picked up. I mean, we do more like during Raw stuff than we used to, and like.
Oh yeah.
So, the hits are out there. You got to get them.
Yeah, go get it. Get that fucking traffic, man. Mm-hmm. So no, yeah, those were. I guess we're doing a lot of complaining about complainers, but not really complaining. I guess.
I mean, I think we're. I mean, I don't know. I don't mean. Like I said, I guess I am doing that. I don't really mean to.
I do. Fuck them.
I think you can enjoy the show a lot more if you just sort of tweak your perspective of it a little bit, like you said.
You could enjoy the show a lot more if you weren't a raging douchebag. So,
and I guess if you are a raging douchebag and you're making yourself mad for 3 hours every Monday, that's good. Go for it. Enjoy.
Yeah. Go fuck yourself. Like,
you're a douchebag. So.
You're a clown. No, yeah. So, Nia, by the way, I really like her. She's very Brock Lesnar-esque, and like, so her promos. I watch the promo and I go, man, that's not so great. But also, it's really cool that she has perfected this art of like, I really like casual disdain. Like when you just like very casually are like, I fucking can't stand anything about you people. But it's like very casual and almost playful. Like, I'm so much better than you. Like, fuck all of you. Like, that really gets me good. And there are only a couple people who are good at this. Lesnar and now Nia Jax. But there's also that, because it leads to that cool part where the babyface comes back and shows her. Because it's like, You don't pose a threat to me. Brock was best with it when he was in the Ambrose feud. Oh, that was so dope. Ambrose would come out and get in his face, and Brock would just kind of look at him with a smirk on his face like, what are you going to do? Like, why are you in my face as though you pose any threat to me? Like, I could literally just grab your head and squeeze, and that would be the end of Dean Ambrose. So he just doesn't give a shit. But there comes that point where he realizes that he can't just do that, or that Dean actually is some kind of threat to him. Same thing with Sasha. And then when they turn it over, it's also awesome, and maybe even better because of that casual disdain, that they get to this fucking beast mode crazy shit. They start throwing people around, and that's awesome. Like, if you can use a human being as a weapon, I'm a fan of yours.
We know.
Jax, Brock Lesnar. Fuck you, Sean. We know.
I don't mean that as a bad thing, but yes, I mean you're the dude who's been touting Braun since the moment he showed up on Raw. So we're aware. You're not breaking news to anybody by saying that you like big dudes throwing around little dudes.
I'm telling you what, if you can hit a dude with another dude,
that is good. That is just good entertainment. I'm on board with you there.
That is good shit.
Or simpatico on that one, my brother.
Absolutely. So I really like that about Nia. So I'm getting into her more and more.
Did you ever watch, this is kind of an NXT thing, did you ever watch any of the Alexa and Nia stuff? Because they're like real life besties.
Yeah, I know they're besties. I don't think they ever really did much of it on screen. They had a few scenes where they Alexa was feuding with, I think, Bayley, and Nia was like sort of in the mix, but they did a lot of backstage stuff between the two of them, and it's pretty goddamn wonderful, just because they're both so good at react, and that same the resting bliss face and all that stuff. They're both really good at that casual disdain. So maybe someday it would be great. I would love to see those two back together. I mean, that would be pretty, with Nia as the Kevin Nash to Alexa's Sean. That would be dope. Oh, that would be awesome. Yeah, Alexa's the same way. Really, really fun to just watch her react to stuff. Just get over it all the time, constantly. Mm-hmm. It's my favorite thing watching her walk out for her entrance, because she'll key in on some fan and act like she's into it, and then immediately just change you disgust me, and
just she destroy him with a glance.
Yeah, and she just gets this across with one look, and it's just she's really great. Did you like the Triple H interruption?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, they needed to do something there, both to get us closer to whenever Triple H is actually going to come back, and to give Seth an actual motivation other than I was privileged and then I wasn't, so I'm mad. So
get him away from Roman.
Yeah, well, they've actually done a pretty good job of separating that. They took Rollins out of that, which is weird, because his big comeback speech was about how the only way I'm going to get to Triple H is if I go through Jericho and then Owens, and then he beat Jericho and then he forgot about it. So
the only way I'm going to get to Triple H is to go back to the gorilla position.
And today he could have gone to Washington, D.C. and barged into Senate. I was waiting for him to run in and attack the congressional confirmation hearing with a steel chair. That would have been dope.
It is pretty funny you did a post about it, and I didn't look at what I actually said, but it is pretty funny to think that he's walking through the back going, I want answers. Someone knows something. Someone knows something. It's like, dude, you take 8 more steps and look to the left, and Triple H is sitting right there. Like, what? And Mick Foley's like, I'm going to find out what's going on for you, Seth. I will get to the bottom of this. You're both idiots. What did he say? I didn't read the article, but what did Triple H say when you did a post about how he tries to explain the logic gap between I work at this company and Seth can't find me for the past 5 months? What did he say? How did he explain it?
He said something I think he just laughed, and he was like, he said something like, well, Seth knows where I work. And then the kayfabe thing was like, well, I understand that as a man, you want to do it in a visible way. So you want to call me out to the ring. And I don't know. He tried. I give him props for actually answering the question, but
yeah. So he didn't just completely, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I mean, he tried to spin it as we finish our business in the ring. So I actually respect Seth for that.
But you're not doing that. He's but that's the problem with that, is when he's walking through the back going, someone's got answers. Yes, he's sitting right there.
Where did we remember when Mick saw the footage of Stephanie, what was it? Triple H kissed her goodbye in the limo, and
she's like, a good job, or some weird shit.
Confronted her about it, and then he said,
that great speech. I can't think you're lying, because that would make you a horrible person, and I just can't think that. And he walked away. Probably his best performance since he's been back. And
have we ever followed up on that at all?
0 follow-up as far as what I can remember. No follow-up at all.
I mean, not that I am not arguing for more Mick and Stephanie on my screen because I think Raw has done very well the last couple of weeks with a minimum of authority figures. But
I don't need this to be like, I don't need wrestling to be really, really smart. I just need it not to be aggressively dumb.
Right. I just don't. Yeah. Don't like flaunt the fact that you don't care that I'm paying attention.
Yeah, like I need answers. Someone's got answers. I'm gonna figure this out for you, Seth. How about you both just take 2 steps back and go, Okay, beyond the fact that everyone's literally in the same building as you are. Like, okay, so Stephanie said, so you have the video of Stephanie kissing him. They're married.
Mm-hmm.
History dictates we know exactly what this shit is, but let's even ignoring that. She put him in a match with his spot on the line. Then Triple H's music played at just the moment he was about to get the win.
Mm-hmm.
What's there to figure out? Why are you acting as though there's I'll get to the bottom of this. You're at the bottom if you just have eyes and a brain that works. There's no getting to the bottom of anything. It's you go to Stephanie and go, well, this is obvious as shit. You're a fucking asshole. So let's get this match. That's the next conclusion. The next thing to do is not to go, I need to figure out the big plot. You know the plot. It's shockingly clear what the plot is. It punches you in the face. So the next thing shouldn't be, someone's got answers for me. The next thing should be, where is he? I'm going to tear his fucking head from his body and then put it in his ass. It should be something like that. It shouldn't be we got to figure out what's going on. And Foley, why does Foley suddenly give a shit about figuring out what's going on for Rollins, by the way?
I don't know. Yeah. I understand.
His feelings are mixed up again, I'm sure.
Well, Sammy was there, and he's in love with Sammy, so maybe he got just confused. He just wanted to have some love for everybody. I mean, and the mystery is why the fuck did Triple H screw over Seth Rollins? We don't know why, and even Stephanie.
That's true. We don't even know why.
Because when that happened on that Raw, Stephanie was shocked that Triple H intervened. So, but they've dropped that plot thread. Now Stephanie is just mostly evil most of the time. So
now she's helping him very clearly. Or accidentally helping him, which is just, that doesn't make any sense at all.
No.
The simplest explanation here is the one that you need to go with. That's generally true in all life. And the simplest explanation is the 2 conniving fucks are conniving and being fucks. It's real simple. It's real simple.
Fuck's gonna fuck.
So I don't know. It's just it's a weird ass thing that this is how they play this. Which maybe that's it. Like someone has answers. I want to know why is he doing this, as opposed to who did that. Like, Triple H's music played, and he's like, "Who was it? Who did this? Who played his music?" Like there's someone. Stephanie's not even here. She must have a mole in the production truck. Oh my God, she runs the company. I can't do this. That's when you get to that point where you're like, I can't. It's too aggressively dumb. You don't have to be smart. This doesn't need to be Game of Thrones where I got to take notes to follow the goddamn story. But just don't be dumb. And that's dumb. But having said all that, I really liked it because this is so stupid. It was awesome.
I mean, at the core, I mean, what they did last night sort of boiled it down to something that it works perfectly for a wrestling story.
Now it makes sense, yeah.
It drove it towards a wrestling match that had, like you said, had stakes, and now both characters' paths have changed as a result of it. So in that way, it's what we want. It got rid of all the noise around it and just boiled it down to the essence of what you want out of every wrestling feud. Which is, it's going to be just, this little wrestling story just, it led to a match that mattered. It was a good match, and now there are consequences. Mm-hmm. That's all we want.
I've been working hard to get to this point to achieve something. You fucked me out of that. You're also a dick. Now I'm pissed, and it's righteous. Now it's righteous. Before it wasn't. And so you always felt that weird strangeness to it. Like, well, I guess I'm on your side because fuck that guy, but you're kind of a dick, dude. Like, you kind of deserve it.
Yeah.
A little bit.
I mean, at least this way we can sort of forget the fact that he's still kind of a dick, and we can just go with.
You can jump behind him a little bit and go, well, yeah, it makes this is how it should be. And he's got great fire Rollins is really good when he's like that anger that I'm kind of making fun of, like, I want to answer. Like, take that and put it in the ring and like make it, it's going to be. I'm intrigued to see how they actually go with this and what Triple H does when he finally does return, how Seth reacts to it. So they got me on board. And it was a really fun match. Sammy got into the Rumble in a way that made sense because it was a distraction, but it wasn't like a distraction. Like it was, but Seth had turned around and was going to continue what he was doing and then got rolled up. It wasn't like he got rolled up while he was looking to the back. So I thought that was good, too. It kind of protected Sammy. Let me say this, too. To all you people who keep, like, you just driving it, I thought they're burying him. Way to get him under. It's entirely possible the idea was for that single segment. Mm-hmm. Like, he did something to piss someone off, so they wrote a segment to kind of make fun of him a little bit, and that was the extent of it. That's all.
It's also, I mean, you can never, I mean, even as somebody who pays close attention to Meltzer and The Observer, it's hard to tell when. I guess Dave was definitely saying there was backstage heat, and then the rest of it was his supposition that was to get. So nobody said like this is the gospel truth. It's like we're interpreting what Dave wrote, which is something that he got from a source. Which, if you're really trying to get Sammy over as this Daniel Bryan kind of guy, maybe you leak out that he's getting buried, because then all the smarks get all up in arms about, oh fuck that, and
Yeah, so that could certainly be the case. Either which way, it could have been for just one segment.
Yeah, it's fun to think about anyway. I mean, so shut up.
Oh, that's one way to get him under. That's one way to get him under. Hell of a burial.
The whole thing. I mean, I even in that post, I wrote that I don't understand how getting a fucking storyline that runs through the entire 3-hour Raw is supposed to be getting under anyway. So. If you were,
I'd like to get under Sammy. Pretty hot.
Damn. that was weird.
Oh yeah, I went weird with it. Let's get creepy.
Nice. All right, creepy. Creepy's back. He's force feeding random stranger.
No, you're right though. It doesn't matter because if you don't. And if that's what they're trying to do, and we're getting entertaining, awesome shit out of it anyway, keep doing it.
Yeah, exactly. It's back to the whole who cares. Like, did you like what you got? Don't worry about what the rumor was backstage before that or after that, or carbon dating the participants for age. Just fucking, did you like it?
The thing that I'm upset that we didn't get a good answer to was why it is that E and Cass put big in front of their names. Like Rusev said.
I don't know.
He doesn't put handsome in front of his name, and that's what he is.
I don't know. That's a good question.
How good is Handsome Rusev, dude? We should just call him that from now on.
I'm calling him Handsome Rusev. I don't know what if you want to get pissed off about something on this program is why isn't Rusev main eventing? God damn it.
You know the argument for a person to be in the main event more than anything? Time. I don't think it's that because I want them to get achievements, because it's not an achievement, it's a prop. I don't think it's that I want them to be the prestige of the position or like the legacy or any of that weird shit. It's because the guy in the main event gets the most time on TV. And Rusev deserves the most time on TV. It sucks that he only gets 4 minutes to be awesome every week.
Yep.
On a 3-hour show. Whereas Roman, who is fine, I don't have a big problem with him, but he gets fucking 35 minutes. So for me, I want Rusev to get that 35 and for Roman to get the 4. Can we do that? Is that a trade-off that would be acceptable?
I'm okay with it. I don't think that's going to happen for you, but keep fighting the good fight.
That's not going to happen. Ooh, miter saw is what we're looking for there. Miter saw. Rusev's great. Jinder Mahal's just there. Cass is fine. Enzo's fine. That was all fine, what it is. You feel good about Anderson and Gallows and Cesaro and Sheamus and what they're doing with that?
Sure. I don't know.
Oh, Big Dick and Little Dick?
I actually didn't. I saw the YouTube clip of it, but I got home after the show started, so I missed that segment. So
it's pretty funny to me that the match they booked is 2 refs. As though we're so incompetent we can't find one referee to do his job right. So we have to have 2 refs for this title match. I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah, they should just go back to using instant replay like they did for that one match. What was that? Remember what was that one where Mike Chioda went to the monitors and reversed the decision or whatever?
Was it Brian?
It might have been. I don't remember. I remember. Yeah, I don't know.
And it might have been.
I just
Yeah, it was
remember it
that.
happened,
You know what?
and I
don't-
remember
yeah,
like
I don't
people
know.
saying you shouldn't introduce this because it's
Because then you always have to. Because if you can use it here, why don't you just use it all the time? It's on video.
Yep. And they
Well, that's the
didn't
whole
do
thing
that.
about all of this. Is that's why it's like it's weird. It's even weird that we do this. It's weird to have a show that analyzes a show that it just falls apart and crumbles under any scrutiny.
Mhm.
Like if you get a little too deep in any part of it, the whole fucking house of cards collapses. And so it's kind of strange that we, like I said, that we even do this at all.
I think that it's amazing that, and then it's not just us. Like I could see if there was one group of people who were dedicated to picking apart a pro wrestling show, but there is like an industry of people dedicated to just watching these shows.
Yeah,
is batshit crazy.
Yeah, there are a lot of people who get on.
There
podcasts
are
to talk
several.
about
We are
it.
not the only two people who get paid to talk about WWE. There are a lot of people that get paid to talk about WWE.
That's weird. This
That
is weird. We're talking about a dude who thinks he's dead and who isn't. And this whole thing is just strange, man.
Does he think he's dead, or is he?
He's called the Dead Man. That's literal.
Right. He doesn't call him. Does he call himself the Dead Man?
If he can summon fire and lightning, why doesn't he just murder everybody?
I don't know. He can make rocking chairs disappear. So
just get in the ring at the Rumble, and we'll do the countdown, and the guy will get in the ring, and he'll do the lights thing, and like lightning will happen, and death. Pick him up and toss him over the top. Easy win.
I guess see that maybe he doesn't. Maybe he's just a carny. It's all an act. He doesn't actually have those powers.
Oh my God, he's lying to us.
It's just it's an intimidation tactic.
What a lion-ass liar who lies. You know what I can't get into at all? The cruiserweights. I feel bad about that, but man,
even Alicia Fox.
Alicia Fox. Fox.
I thought Noam Dar was your boy.
He's a creepy little bastard, which is awesome, but otherwise, yeah. And the Jack Gallagher thing is just kind of, I'm over that.
Really?
Yeah. The one dude, the Perkins, the video game guy with the dabbing.
I've been done with him since before he came out. So you're not into Neville? You're not feeling the Neville?
That's cool. And Swan's got his cool little entrance and the music, and
yeah. The one thing I didn't like the jester line or whatever. That did not feel like very good. It's always crazy to me when you can just tell a line that Vince told somebody to say that just they would never like Roman suffer and succotash stuff. I mean that to me was like suffer and succotash, man. You're not a king. I think you're a jester. Like that's how we talk. That's how the kids talk these days.
That's
big old members of the King's Court. Jokes.
Yeah, and I know if I was walking around telling people, "Oh yeah, I'm a king," like, and someone was like, "You're not a king. You're a just that fight words. I'm ready to fight." What'd you say to me? Did you fucking seriously just say it? Fight?
Step outside.
Yeah. Catch these hands. Or what is it that New Day said? They did the. Was that?
I forget. It was. I don't know.
How about maybe outside though?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I don't know.
It's all
it was good. I liked it.
It's dumb.
I don't know what they're doing with. I don't know. Do you think New Day is going to break up? Because now that Austin Creed said that it never happened.
No, they're going to get Kofi the world title.
You believe it? You're good. You're down.
Yeah, I'm down for that. Let's do it. Fuck it. And let's get him to take it off of Roman Reigns. Let's just throw the whole thing on its head.
Catch me outside. How about that? That's what he said.
From Dr. Phil. Because I actually looked it up. And some teenage chick on Dr. Phil. Catch me outside. How about that? What'd you say, man? What you say? What's that?
Nice. Well, Dr. Phil is a WWE superstar, right? So.
The people from Dr. Phil actually
future celebrity Hall of Famer, I bet.
One of his producers hit us up and was like, "Can we use one of your tweets about him on our show?" And I'm like, "I don't give a shit," but I don't know if that ever happened.
I don't know either.
Remember when he was
does
on
he still
Raw?
have a show?
Yeah, remember when he was on Raw and Flair? And
I thought he did a good job, actually.
I thought he was great.
I was a fan of Phil on Raw.
I was really hoping he'd beat the shit out of Ric Flair.
Yeah, somebody needs to. Maybe Cam Newton will do it.
What else? Is there anything else that happened on the show that we need to talk about?
I'm sure there was. I don't know. Let me pull up Reverend Kane's award-winning live blog.
Big Show's return, looking like a fucking American gladiator. And Michael Cole, who's known him for 20 years, being like, wow, he's really big. Cole, you've seen him so many times.
He looks bigger with less weight on him, though. It's a weird thing. Cole didn't know. He didn't
say that. He's lost so much weight, he's taller.
The weight that came off of his stomach actually went into the bottom of his feet, and he grew.
He's not slouching anymore. He's got that gut weighing him down. That big old drum.
He's proud of himself. He's got good posture. He's sticking his chest out.
Man, his chest is all sticking out. He's got that big ass beard. He's balder than a motherfucker. Michael Cole.
So how do you think this whole Rumble thing is going to go? Do you think they're going to give it like 2 hours on this show, or?
I hope. I was just a guy out every 3 minutes. Let's just drag this thing out for as long as we can. The Rumble's really fun. Even when it's bad, it's good.
So we got Cass. Who else went in last night? Cass and Show. Show announced beforehand. So we got more big.
Show.
I wonder if this will be like the biggest Rumble ever. Like if you average out the height and weight of everybody. You think? Where's Canaanite? Get his ass on this.
That's a lot of beef. I'm a real big fan of the amount of beef in the Rumble this year.
I mean, Baron Corbin's like one of the smallest dudes in the Rumble, and he's like 6'8", right?
I think Zayn's the smallest guy now.
Oh, that's true.
Cass is in, Rusev's in, and Big Show.
Jericho's in. So Jericho's definitely the smallest guy.
Oh yeah, because he's like 4 foot nothing. But
Cass is in, but Enzo's not.
I'm good with that. Yeah, I'm declaring for the Rumble, and Enzo's all excited about it, and he's like, "What about you? Like, are you gonna say?" Nope, nothing.
He's gonna come out. Well, there's 10 minutes of the Rumble. There is their intro promo after Cass's number comes up, because Enzo's gonna walk him out and do a little dance, make a little love.
I love the Rumble. I can't wait for this Sunday.
Get down that night.
It's a really good card too, actually. Like, it looks like it should be really fun.
I think it's gonna be great. I'm really curious how they're gonna like lay out the Rumble match, because we were talking about this last night. You figure that these guys, I mean, the Takers and Lesnar's, and at least the Taker and Goldberg are gonna go in late, because they're probably gonna factor in the finish, but you don't want them trying to go for any Iron Man awards. So,
yeah, the big dudes are going in late.
I mean, Strowman's probably not gonna work an hour. You don't think?
I feel like he could.
Maybe he will. Well, they've turned. So, what do you think about Braun? Because they've established. And last week, I liked it that he was denying us the fight with Lesnar last week, but now we got a couple weeks in a row where he's like he doesn't even want to throw hands with anybody. So I could see Braun like going out like under the bottom rope and sitting in the corner, basically. I mean, for a while.
Yeah, I don't really know how much I like when someone's like a big monster and he's like, I'll kill everybody. And then he's all of a sudden like, I fight when I want, how I want.
Right.
I'll do whatever I want. You're not the boss of me. I won't fight. I won't fight. I won't do it. You don't boss me around. You're not my dad. Like, that shit gets a bit weird. But
I think there's a difference between backing away from Brock Lesnar too and backing away from fucking Big Show. Which, no disrespect to Big Show, but Big Show is not an unstoppable monster at this point. We've seen him lose a lot. He got knocked out by Floyd Mayweather. Come on, Braun.
I was hoping Strowman would be like, well, your whole thing is that you're big. You lost like 200 pounds. I'm scared of you now, you skinny fuck.
Not as big as you used to be, right?
You skipped leg day too, you big bastard. I'm just gonna push you over.
It is kind of amazing. One thing I thought during it is kind of. You forget how fucking Big Show is, and then he's like 6 inches taller than Braun goddamn Strowman. It's like, I'm not used to seeing Strowman look up to anybody.
That's what people told me too when I was like, here's Cole saying how shocked he is that Show's such a big guy. He's known him for 20 years. They're like, well, every time you see him, I gotta imagine it's shocking. I said, well, all right. I mean, maybe.
It's like the pictures of Shaq with Cena from yesterday, where like Cena looks like he's like 12 standing next to him.
And Cena's like 6'5".
You don't realize how big those guys are, those fucking 7-footers. 7 feet tall is really, really. People ran like when I went to that NXT show with Decker, like some of those guys were like, Sean's tall. I'm 6'3". I'm not that tall. Fucking everybody. Well, everybody. Everybody not named Jericho in WWE fucking towers over me.
Isn't the average American male like 5'8"?
Is it? I thought it was like, yeah, I guess somewhere in there, like 5'8", 5'10".
5'8", 5'9", 5'10". You're 6'3".
Yeah.
You're tall, man.
I'm not saying I'm not tall. I'm just saying it's not, we sort of lose perspective. Like, I don't know, you just see Big Show by himself, or you get used to watching the, programs like this, you forget that there are some people who are fucking tall. Like, not a little bit tall, but like freakishly.
They're fucking tall.
They are fucking tall.
Fucking tall. You ain't going to thank me?
They're wicked tall.
Wicked tall. Boston hot.
Fucking Boston. Carmella's dead to me, by the way.
Man, I'm tired of Ellsworth. I'm going to go. Yeah. I can't wait to go to the live event tonight and also do whatever Carmella tells me. Because any man with two hands understands. What are you talking about?
You don't need two hands to do what I think you're talking about, Ellsworth.
I was going to say, like, what do you, any man with two hands understands? That doesn't even make sense. He's drunk.
Like I said, well, he wants to rhyme. Everybody's rhyme. Everybody likes to rhyme these days. The champ that runs the camp and yada, yada.
Yeah, well.
Yada, yada. What else happened? Let's see. Anything else happened on the fucking show?
I think we're good. Let's get out of here on time.
I'm making sure I don't want. So what's tonight? Oh, the Wyatt throwdown. You amp for a little
the Wyatt family
action.
The Wyatt
Mickey's supposed to. Mickey's supposed to have a sit down interview with Renee and explain herself.
Let's look at some comments.
That should be good. Do we have comments? We got comments.
16 of them. As much as you dislike it, Geno, this show is never the same without both you and Sean together. Well, thank you, Lord Halo Star.
Oh,
Geno's back. Nice. Seth is going to eliminate Triple H in the Rumble somehow. I doubt Triple H is in the Rumble.
I forgot. I think kill him in. I think we were supposed to. Kane and I didn't shout him out last week. He got in after we looked at comments. So belated shout out to you, kill him in.
Kill him in.
I don't know. That's what it looks like. What do you think? Because Seth's got to do something at the Rumble. Are they just going to have like a scene? You think, or how are they going to work that into the?
No idea.
You don't think Triple H is going to be in the? So Triple H is not defending his Rumble win.
I think it's kind of indefensible if Rollins is in the Rumble now.
Well, he wouldn't be in the Rumble. Like Triple H would be in it, and then Rollins would come out and screw him.
I don't need that.
I'm not saying I need it. I'm just saying I'm sort of with Jeff GM. I could see that maybe happening.
I could see it happening.
I don't know if Triple H is going to be. I don't know if Triple H is even going to be in it because I don't know.
I mean, I could see it happening too, but I think you're getting a bit busy if that's what you're going to do. Because the feud is, like you said, I mean, we've finally got to a point where it makes sense. I don't think you need, especially he's the part-timer or whatever. Oh, I don't know. I mean, I guess that makes sense in a way, but then when you do that.
Yeah.
When you do that, it kind of it pushes it to Triple H that Triple H is now upset because Seth cost him.
Right.
And we're still on board with Seth for the reasons that we are, but I think it works better.
I'm with you. It doesn't make any sense for Triple H's character why he would even want to be in the Rumble.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, he's above all of this, so.
His character currently is about fucking Seth Rollins over. He did that. He has no reason to do anything. Now Seth has to draw him out.
Now, where it would be interesting to have Triple H show up would be, especially now that we made it no DQ, would be maybe to come out, which we completely didn't talk about the Universal title angle.
Because we don't care.
If Triple H came out and helped keep Owens as champion, because we still don't really know why. Like I said, this goes back to my why question. We don't know why he wanted to screw Seth and why it was important for him to put KO over. We can sort of connect the dots, but that might make his feud with Roman than with Seth. Yeah,
exactly.
The problem is they've sort of fucked themselves by leaving this open for this long.
Yeah, and everything kind of got intertwined there, and they don't really know which direction to go. They have the direction to go now, and I just feel like the smart play would be just to kind of go with what's obvious and what's right in front of you, which is just Seth just needs to drag him out.
Yeah, is Seth going to be left off of the fucking Rumble card then?
I don't think that's the worst thing. I mean, it's a pretty stacked card. He'll be there. They can still run an angle. It's a long show.
True.
They could run an angle where he's like, look,
little Sunday Night Raw action where he heads out with the microphone and refuses to leave until. Triple H.
Or maybe not even that. Maybe Seth. Maybe they do a thing where Seth tries to beat the shit out of someone and take their spot, like they did to Curtis Axel. And then while he's trying to do that,
see, they just got Seth
is
back to kind of a babyface place. I don't really know that I need him assaulting
well,
people for a spot.
well,
I know. That's what I'm saying is I think they've sort of painted themselves into a corner where they don't have a lot of good options because they've left this story on the back burner for 7 fucking months now.
Here's what they could do something like Seth goes to Mick Foley and he's like, look, they cheated me and you know they cheated me. I deserve a spot in the Royal Rumble. We need to work something out. And Mick's like, well, you know, this guy was going to be in with this number and hands him a number or whatever. And I said, well, he's kind of, you know, something happened or like R-Truth or something like that. Something happened to him on the way to the arena. He got lost and he just called and like Truth's on the phone. My bad. I thought we said the Alamo Dome. I thought you said that.
But then you just took out. You just like retroactively took the consequences out of the Zayn Rollins match.
And that's true, but I mean, I don't know.
I guess I'm overthinking. I don't know. I'm overthinking it. I suppose. But.
And then Triple H he can come out, and then the security can stop him, and he can be like, "What the fuck's this?" And like he's trying to go, and they're holding it back, and then Triple H comes out.
Here's what they should do. Is Seth knows that fucking mark-ass Triple H won't be able to not go get a little bit of rub at NXT TakeOver the night before. So Seth invades NXT TakeOver and you have like a to be continued into the Rumble or something. No, not at all.
That would be fun. That actually would be really fun and cool. That would be a good way too to get people to watch NXT more. It's because you never know what kind of crazy shit will happen.
Right.
Triple H is in the ring. This is your NXT, and he gets blasted with a mic.
He gets sucker punched like a Nazi.
Yeah,
takes him out with
a big elbow smash. Yeah, a big forearm smash, and he's just down. And then Seth's like, "This is my NXT, blah blah. Fuck this guy," and pedigrees him, and then leaves. And then it's just Regal comes out and takes him away. Yeah, that'd be really cool.
I hate the pedigree.
That's an effective.
So who do you think? Do you think is Joe going to show up at the Rumble?
Yes.
Is Kenny Omega going to show up at the Rumble?
No.
Is Shinsuke Nakamura going to show up at the Rumble?
No.
Who do you think's going in the last? What do we got? 8 spots left?
I think number 30 will be Finn Balor.
Okay, all right.
And I think he'll get eliminated
immediately.
Win? He'll immediately get eliminated.
I would like, especially if he takes 20 minutes to enter, and then he just shows up and like Rusev grabs.
Like he'll do his full entrance where he'll get on the thing and the music will play and he'll do that.
Rusev just runs up and pushes him off.
Rusev will grab him, put him in the ring, and then put him over the ring, and that's it. And Balor's
nice. I like it.
And then he'll win Dumbest Ass Award for trying to do a full entrance at a Royal Rumble. For trying to return from injury early. Who's your favorite
Kurt Angle
to win?
will be in the Rumble?
Yes, Sean. I think Kurt Angle will be in the You're like, whoa!
I'm not sure.
Who's the next person you're going to ask? You think Shelton Benjamin will be in the Royal Rumble?
No.
Do you think Bugs Bunny will be in the Royal Rumble?
That would be sweet. Do you think Shaq will be in the Royal Rumble?
I hope so. I actually really hope that does happen. I don't know how they'll signal that it's him. Did he even have music at the fucking Andre? I don't think he did. But just to come out, like it'll hit and there will be nothing, and then you'll hear screams, and then they'll cut over. It'll be Cole going, "Oh my! Look at how big he is!" And then Shaq's big ass will like go
sexual too there for a little bit.
Or like it would be even better. You know, sometimes Shaq would he'd like do a slam, and then when he was like going back towards the other court, he'd do that dip low thing and run like low. I hope he goes to the ring like that. Like that would just be fucking great.
I don't know. I wonder what maybe he should like come out to the theme to NBA Jam or something. I don't know. Yeah, he needs some music. We got to get some music.
Another cool thing is we're probably not going to have to look forward to too many of those spots where there's like a big guy comes in and clears out a bunch of little guys and another big guy comes in to face off with him because everyone's a big guy.
Because 90% of the people are big. Yep.
This could be, they probably did book an extra hour because people are going to be gassed pretty early.
Do you think?
And they're going to need time.
Who do you think? You think we get one of the like a faction takes over and cuts promo spot? I could see them doing that with like New Day early or with the Wyatts maybe. But I don't know.
No,
We don't know if
because
the Wyatts might not even be on the same page.
I think this is generally going to be. They're not going to do too many spots like storyline type stuff. I think this will just be a pretty standard Rumble. Like get
You don't
people
think
get in
Roman's
and they
going to get
rumble
taken
around.
out with injury and then come back later?
No, yeah, I hope we
God,
don't.
last year was bad.
Rumbles are never bad. Rumbles are good no matter what.
It was
There's
not
been
good.
one-
It was not one of my favorite Rumbles. I'll tell you that.
I think there's only been one bad Royal Rumble in the history of the match. Otherwise, it's a good.
Which one? The Del Rio one?
No, 1999. The Del Rio one was awesome. No, the
Oh.
99 Rumble was a dumpster fire. And it's because it wasn't even a Rumble. Like the first two entrants got in and then they just left and didn't come back for 45 minutes. So the next guy got in and just stood there for a minute and a half. And then I don't think they ever had more than like 3 people in the ring at one time. There were at least 2 or 3 different instances where no one was in the ring and we were just standing around waiting for the timer to go down. People eliminating themselves. There was no star power at all. It was just a really bad Rumble. The booking was horrible. Like it was all the things that make the Rumble fun. Like I said, you can't fuck it up. It's like, it's hard to be bad at like sex too. Like it's like sex. Sex is awesome, basically, even when it's bad.
Not that hard.
Well, believe me, it ain't that hard to be bad.
I don't know. I have given and received bad sex. I think it's very possible.
Well, I'm just you're getting the nut, so there's that part of it.
That's
a good thing.
There you go, the fucking patriarchy.
I'm just saying it's a good thing to get a nut. So it's like maybe it's bad leading up to it, but you get it's like it was still sex. So that's the same basically with the Rumble. But 99 didn't give you that. Like all the things that make the Rumble cool, they did none of those things, and in fact found a way to fuck it up in every way imaginable, even with stars like Steve Austin. But no, I think it'll be good. The 2011 one was good. The Del Rio one, that shit was fun, and the finish was awesome with Santino and the tease of winning it.
I didn't know. I know you're not a big Del Rio fan, so.
Well, neither are you. I know you hate him.
I used to be. He totally is. I mean, I was like I was a big defender of his first run, and that's all over now. Fuck that guy. He's advertising that WWE superstars will be at his restaurant after the Rumble.
Oh yeah, where him and Paige are going to throw a big Royal Rumble party.
I'm going to go ahead and pre-write that he beats up James Ellsworth for like looking at Paige wrong or something. I'm going to do that now.
Any man with 2 hands.
I'll have that ready to publish at 2 a.m. on Monday morning because you know it's happening.
Yeah. Any man with 2 hands can get head kicked for looking at Paige.
So you want to know who my Rumble pick was?
Who's your prediction? Who's winning the Royal Rumble, Sean? The fans. Hey!
Hey now!
The fire rises.
Somebody from Raw.
That's lame. Give me a real choice. Like 6?
I think it's going to be Braun Strowman.
I hope so. How great would that be? People would be so mad.
To set up Strowman versus Roman at the Mania.
Strowman versus Roman for the Universal title.
I'm telling you, that's a Mania-worthy feud right there, Strowman Roman.
Where'd your video go?
Oh, did I just lose video?
You got so excited for Strowman Roman. Oh, we can hear you.
No, I don't know what happened. It's still plugged in. Let me play back.
No, it's fine. We're getting ready to leave anyway. But
no, I'm
you
fucked.
got so excited for Strowman.
My HD camera is dead.
Oh wow, that's how excited your HD camera couldn't handle the idea.
I'm back. I'm back, bitches.
Oh, there we go. Strowman Roman.
Mm-hmm.
The Rose.
Who's your pick to win the 2017 Royal Rumble match? Geno Morasco.
Vince McMahon. I hope he enters. That'd be great. No, who's gonna win?
Isn't he still recovering from quad surgery?
True.
You know what Vince would probably say if he did win the Royal Rumble?
What?
Oh, fuck you, son. I'm so mad you didn't pick up on my cue.
I didn't at all. I'm sorry.
You know what everybody else can do then?
Go fuck yourselves.